Okay, so we're going to start working on some of the textures now. If we look at this image here, I'm going to start with this one, this lovely wall, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this with displacement, and I want this sticking out. Like, I could just do it exactly like this and have some sort of marble, soft reflective tiles going on there, but instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some nice details going on. I think this camera actually needs to come forward a bit. What we're going to do is just drag this focal length back a bit. I think that'll be fine. You move, shift up. Snap is off, but it's moving a lot. Hang on. I kind of want to see a little bit of this on this side here, so I'll probably just drag this back a tiny amount. Maybe I'll do that and just move this camera forward. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so we're going to go to textures.com, and you can download a bunch of stuff for free here. So what am I going to do? I really like this concrete. You can see how cool these look if you get these settings done correctly. And they've got a lot of different stuff that you can use. Okay, I love these scan materials, but let's just look at tiles. That's awesome. I like that. God, could have done with that a few years ago. God, these are nice. Let's see how this looks. I'm not sure. It's nice, but I don't think so. Let's try floor tiles. Here we go. Alright, this is the right one. Alright, so just go concrete damaged. We can download this. And this is what it looks like. And you can just download medium here. And I think we'll probably go with that and this. You can download these different ones here. I don't think I've used this one in the end, but 1024 is more than enough. You can just click on there. I mean, it would be great, don't get me wrong, to have them at I don't know if you need them 23,000. But 4K would be good. That would be nice, but this will work. Okay. So it says it's 3.6 by 3.6. So what we're going to do, we need to know where we're going to put that. So let's just say, okay, we're going to put it around the doorway. We're going to put it here on these edges. So if I press F3, F4, I'm just clicking on the mouse, just dragging this up. I don't really want to go too high, but I'm happy to. Yeah. I need to see the top of this doorway. See? I can see the top of the doorway and above. So I need to adjust some things here. I'm going to come up to here. And then what I'm going to do is select the camera. And I think I'm going to move this guy backwards. I'll move him forwards. And then bring this back. Just bring him forwards a bit more. Actually, if we come down, and then what we can do is we can shift this horizontally and vertically, see, so we can go like that. I'm going to pull that up. Let's bring that down a bit. Okay, cool. All right, I like this more and more. So now what we're going to do is get this texture ready. So I'm going to take these walls, and I'm going to put another slice. If you look here, I'm going to create that slice up there. So let's just put a slice on, and then press 1 so we can move this around. And I'm going to bring this up to about there. So let's just undo that, and let's just come up 250. Okay, and that's what I mean. Okay, I don't have this viewport selected, or it would have moved. See, Y is going up, and if I select here, then Z is going up. There we go. That should be good enough. If needed, we can just pull the verts afterwards. So we're going to just put an edit poly on, collapse it to that. And instead of that, let's undo that. Let's bring the slice back up another 100. Happens when you're not in sub-object mode. Press 1, 100. Okay. Edit poly, collapse 2. And I'm just going to have another look at this image. See, there's this shiny here. If I press shift, I can move this to hand. But you can't really see. So you can see this crack in it here. At least it looks like a crack. Could be the texture, I guess. But here there's clearly, an edging going on. And here I believe there's tiles, but I want that edging. So we're going to have it go like that. Come in here. So we just have that bottom one selected. And then we're going to do the same on this side. And we're just going to extrude those out. And I think it's about 300. That'll do. And go top view. Alt W. Let's just see what we're doing. Let's just make sure snap is on. And we're just going to snap across here. And then turn that off. And then snap this one to that. Okay. Great. Now let's again select the ones we want, which is that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. This. Now I could always do the other side. See, I could always do the other side of this doorway, but you're never going to see it. And I'm not worried about picking it up in reflections in there, so I'm really not that bothered about doing extra work that you won't see. You're never going to work on stuff behind the camera unless you can clearly see it in the reflection. And here I just need to do the ones which we're going to see in this view, so that's what we're going to do. So let's detach these. What I'm going to do is just put an edit poly on top, so I can undo this at any point I want to. Just select these. So here I've selected all these polys, but you can clearly see I don't need to have, displacement going all the way out, and that's what I'm going to be adding here. I don't want displacement going all the way out there past the viewport. So what we'll do is go top view. We'll just go into edge mode, select these ones, and I'm going to put a line in about here. So let's just go connect. And I'm just going to snap it actually to this beginning there. And then we'll take these same ones here, top view, take these ones on this side. We're going to just connect that and then just snap that across to there. Okay, now we're going to go polygon mode and just select the ones you want, which is this one, this one, this one, this one. Press Q so it doesn't, move unexpectedly. And that's it. Now this back here we're going to move later, but for now that's fine. We can detach that. And then select it, just the Alt Q, make sure you've got it correctly selected. We're just going to open the material editor. And we're going to get a new view area material. And we'll assign that. And then what we're going to need to do is here in my maps, these are the maps I downloaded. So I'm just going to drag this and put it here, and I'm just going to get the mapping correct for this to start with. So, oops, the wrong one. This is the new one. And we're just going to make it visible. And I think it said it was 3.6 meters by 3.6. So let's just start with that. Oops, I'm sure that's going to be too much, but we can always deal with that afterwards. So let's put a UVW map on. We just go box, real world scale. And this is humongous. So let's bring up the material editor. And we're just going to bring this down to, let's try 1500 by 1500. That could be about right. Yeah, it's about right. But now you see how you've got the same map here, same there, same there. So what we're going to do is a little trick is we're just going to come up here, press 1, go in sub-object mode here, which is on the gizmo. Press E so you get onto the rotation. And then we're just going to move this. You can just move this around by about that. And I want this off the floor. I don't like having it on the floor, so we're going to just bring this up, turn off snaps, bring that up. I'm just looking here at this edge. I just press Alt W to get this here. And I might do different mapping back here. But this is looking pretty nice. I want this edge here to line up, preferably. So we're just going to drag it over a bit. And now notice this side here doesn't come up, so I'm just going to undo that. I'm going to move it over so it's half done. And then I'm just going to pull scale on, and I'm just going to scale it in a touch. And I'm just tweaking it into position where I want it to be. And now you can see, because we've gone angled, you know, that you don't get that same kind of crow's feet thing happening there. Okay? Now I'm going to leave that on there just so I can copy and paste it into other things if needed. Okay, and then if we press F9 just to get an idea, because we've done a lot of changes here. You can see it coming through here. So what we're going to do, just bring up your material editor again. Let's get this nicely done. We'll bring this down. You can press Shift and drag, click on here, and then we're going to basically take the same item, but instead of having the diffuse on it, we're going to go height. And I've got this large one. Oh, I thought I clicked on the new one. Okay, so we're going to put this here. So basically what I did, if I right click here, I can say reveal location and explorer. So we had this height, and this is the new one I made. So I've made this in Photoshop. So what I did is I took this, and the first thing I did was I want this to be larger. So an image, basically the reason I made it larger was just to help make these edges here sharper. So adjustments, image size, image size, and it's 1024, so we're going to double that. So we're going to go 2048. Okay, and still it's not 4K, but that's better. And then we're going to, this is to use for, you know, displacement. So black is down and white is up. So you don't want areas where you've got a lot of white, but you want, you don't want areas where you've got a lot of black, because otherwise this is all going to be flat. And you want it to be nice and, having a lot of variation. So you kind of want it to get to almost black and almost white, but not quite there. That can work. We can put another point up here. And another point down here. There we go. And then, if you want, you can press Shift Control Alt E and go image. Sometimes you want this to be slightly blurry, but you can also go, filter, other, high pass, and just set this to like 1 or 2 or 3, and you can see these details coming through, and then you can put this over to overlay, and that'll sharpen it for you. There's a very slight difference there. So you can also try 2 or 3 if you want. You probably can't see that difference. I can see it, but I don't know if you can. Filter, other, high pass. Let's try 3. So you can see these details here. You can also do 2. Let's do 2 and put that on overlay. And you can see that sharpens it up quite a bit more. So if you like, you can do that and then save that out. And that's what I did in order to get this larger one here. So you can see that difference. So we're going to take this, And I'm going to put this straight into displacement. And then on here, I've got to put a subdivide because I don't want it taking up loads and loads of memory. Not a world space modifier one, but subdivide down there. And I'm going to put this down to 150. And then I'm going to put a V-ray displacement modifier on. And then I'm going to take this and put this straight into there. And this is on 3D mapping. Just take that off there actually. So we've got this in here now. Just make sure this is set to the same as this. And then also this blur can stay at 1, but this blur here on this guy, I'm going to knock this down to 0.3. We're going to mess with this material in a minute. And we're going to shift this out. Let's say 15 mil should be more than enough. And then what we want is this, and I need a general color correction. Just going to drag this, chuck it in here, double click on this, bring the saturation down quite a bit, and I'm going to make it brighter. Let's try 2. I think that's too much. Let's try 1.5 or 1.7 should be good. Okay, and then I'm just going to mess with this. I'm going to plug this into reflection. I'm going to plug this into reflective glossiness. I'm going to double click on this guy. I'm going to turn off Fresnel. Not that it would be, but because I want to play with this. Okay, I'm going to come along and look at this, and let's try this down at 1, and then let's try this guy up at 3. Okay, that's too much. It's going to look like metal. 2 maybe. Or we can go the other way. We can put this down at 1 and put this guy up at 3. See, that's just like not going to work. Let's try 2 and 2. Okay. So I don't really like 2 on the glossiness too much, like 1.8 probably. And this is obviously too much. 1 is a bit too low. 1.3. Let's try that. Okay, let's press F9. See where we go. Now with reflection, you get a lot of reflection happening here from the sun and stuff like that, from the light. So we've got all of this coming in. And we can actually, let's up the render on this, just so we can see what's happening with this brick wall. And let's do 3000. Okay, let's render this. Okay, that's looking nice, it's looking sweet, I like that. And see here, like I'm not too worried about this back wall. I'll probably remap this back wall later, so we don't have this tiny bit of tile cut off the top and the bottom and the edges. But right now what I'm trying to get is, because this is going to move, I'm going to move this, the size of this and the shape of this. I'm going to change that around so it matches the image closer. It's not quite in the right place right now. But that gives us a good idea there. And you can see that wall is looking really nice, that displacement's looking good. And it's catching the light here on this side, which is awesome, I think. Alright. So that's the first texture done.